Here we are again, War of 1812, Solitaire Pocket Travel Game by Worthington Publishing. I lost the last two games. I'm going to put the link below to the video I recorded, the first one that kind of goes through the rules and everything of the game, but you'll probably get an idea here, especially if we get to turn 20. Let's give it a shot because I lost the last two games and I really would like to do well with this one. So everything is set the way it's supposed to be here. We got British control in the lakes. We have our American, and there's my cat touching the tripod. We got the American forces here in these cities. We have the British right there trying to push through. We have to be very careful if the British control two of our initial cities. After turn 4, we lose. So let's see how many resource points we start with. That's very good. We start with 3 resource points. And I'm going to try to take over the lakes. You know, another thing I'm going to try to do is use the regulars because this gives us a die roll, whether we are defending or attacking. So that's pretty good. Sorry about that. My cat brushing up against the tripod. So we have 3 resource points. Let me go for the lakes. Okay, let's start with Lake Champlain. A 3 is no effect. So let's go over here to Lake Ontario. A 3 is no effect. Let's go to Lake Erie. A 2 is no effect. Let's see what the British are going to do in response to that. A 2 on an odd turn because we're on turn 1. British Navy. If the British control Lake Erie, retreat the American Northwest front marker 1 town. Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Erie. So already we got the British pushing right in, and of course we stay adjacent here because we can always take the our initial town back. But already we are beginning in a deficit, and I started with 3 resource points. All 3 failed. So let's go to turn 2. Let's see how many resource points we get now. We get 2 resource points. It's so important to take over these lakes, but I really do have to try to push this out here. So I'm going to use 1 resource point to attack in the northwest front. And that's a 2, which is a fail. Where is it? No advance. I guess I will try again. And we got a 6 this time, so we did manage to push them forward. Just keep in mind that these locations with those are fortified locations, right? So it's -1 DRM for us to attack that location. Let's see what the British are going to do. 4 even. So, well, actually 4 is on all turns, right? Flip over 2 British front markers to regulars. Player's choice, if not flipped already. Let's go with these 2, and that only means that we have our regulars, the British have their regulars, and it adds a -1 DRM. So in this situation, well, actually that location is not fortified, so it's a -1 to attack here. And let's go with the St. Lawrence. That is fortified, so it's -2 to attack them there. And it doesn't matter which other one I would choose because that one's fortified and that one's fortified. So there you have it. We're not, I don't know what to say. This is a wonderful little game, but it's so tough. And then with these kind of dice rolls, right? I mean, what can you expect? Resource points. Let's go. And I got 1 resource point. 1 resource point. Let's go with Lake Ontario. I'm going to try to take it over. And I failed. I mean, can this go any worse? Let's see what the British are going to do. 4 again. Now, I had a question about this because we rolled 4 again, and that's on all turns, right? Flip over 2 British front markers to regulars, if not flipped already. Does that mean I have to flip the other 2? Or just flip over 2? There's already 2 flipped over, so I just leave it alone. And I'm going to interpret that as just 2. And since they're already flipped, I'm not going to flip the other 2. I'm just going to leave it. I'll read that again. Flip over 2 British front markers to regulars. Okay? So we have 2 flipped already. So I'm not going to flip these 2. Not with how I've been rolling these dice. So you can interpret that however you want, but I think it's to flip over just 2. And if there's already 2 flipped over, you leave it alone. Okay? Turn 4. One resource point. Now these will flip back if we attack them and we win. The regulars go away and they flip over. So with 1 resource point, let's just try to take Lake Ontario again. How about it? And we rolled a 4, which is the attacker wins. So we finally managed to do something. Let's see how the British are going to respond to that. It's an even turn right over here. If the British control Lake Ontario, retreat the American Niagara front marker 1 town, which is right there. Okay? Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Ontario. And it just so happens that, like Lake Champlain, it could have been Lake Erie. No, it has to be Lake Ontario, right? So we're getting attacked here. And the British take over. Turn 5. Let's go. 2 resource points. Let's see what we're going to do here. 2 resource points. I'm going to take Lake Ontario back. How about it? And I did with the 6. Now I'm upset. So I'm going to go for Lake Erie as well. Let's go. And 4 is a change control. So I happen to win that one as well. Let's see how the British are going to respond to that. A 2 on an odd turn. If the British control Lake Erie, retreat the American Northwest front marker 1 town. Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Erie. So we're being attacked, and the British take control again. Turn 6. How many resource points? 2. I want to take both of these. I know I'm obsessing with the lakes, okay? But I just feel like I have to do that. So let's go with Lake Erie. And that's a success. And let's go with Lake Champlain now. That's another 4. So we managed to do that. Let's see how the British respond to this. Oh, getting excited here. Oh, boy. A 5, and it's an even turn. Attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. Isn't that swell? So it's not just like Lake Ontario or Lake Champlain. It's all lakes. Okay, so we're being attacked on all lakes. Let's start with Lake Erie. Fail. Let's go to Lake Ontario. Success. Because it's right there. Let's go to Lake Champlain. And that is another success. So, this is just crazy. Turn 7. Let's see how many RPs we're going to get. We get 3 RPs. What am I going to do? Because I'm really tempted. You know what? I'm going to do something crazy. I haven't done this before. I'm going to put regulars here for 1. I'm going to put regulars here for 2. And I'm going to put regulars here for 3. That's going to be my turn. Now, what these just allow me to re-roll a die, whether attacking or defending. So I'm just being extra cautious here. So in this preparation phase, let's see how the British are going to respond. And they respond with a 5 and an odd. If British control Lake Ontario, retreat the American St. Lawrence front marker, which is right here, one town. Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Ontario. So I'm going to have to retreat here. Okay, let me just double check. Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence. So it's right here, which means I stay adjacent, right? And they come into the town, and I remain adjacent here because I can retake it. So let's go to turn 8. It's very dangerous now because if the British take over one more town, it's an immediate loss for us. If they control 2 towns after turn 4, we're done. Okay, so this is very, very important. We need some resource points. Come on. Okay, we got 2 resource points. The thing is, if I attack here, it's a -1 because of the regulars, right? So what am I going to do? I kind of have to, just in case they take over another town and we instantly lose. So I have 2 resource points. I'm going to attack here at -1. I mean, there's nothing I can do. So I got a 3, which is a 2. No advance. Am I going to use my the American regulars to re-roll the die? And you know what? I think I should. I'm going to do that because this is dangerous. Okay, so now we manage to push them back because 4 minus 1 is 3, and that means we advance. So I have 1 more, right? Because I used an American regular. We have 1 more. I'm going to bring the regulars back. That's for my other resource point. Now let's see what the British are going to do. A 1 on an even turn. Let's see, attack the American front marker on the northwest and Niagara front. So we're going to be attacked here, the northwest front and the Niagara front. So let's see what happens here, the northwest front first. Okay, nothing happens, thankfully. Now at the Niagara front, nothing happens. Wow, maybe things are turning around. Let's go. Turn 9. How many resource points? Good. We get 3 resource points. Let me try to take over these 2, right? So I'm going to try here. Lake Ontario. Fail. Let me try it again because we get 3, right? I fail again. Let's go to Lake Champlain. Okay, we succeeded in Lake Champlain. Let's see how the British are going to respond to that. Not kindly, I assume. It's an odd number 5, so if the British control Lake Ontario, retreat the American St. Lawrence front marker 1 town, otherwise attack American ships on Lake Ontario. It's in British control, so again, they push us out of Sackett's Harbor. And we have to sit right there on the outside, hoping to take it back. Turn 10. How many resource points? We get 3. 3 resource points. Oh, no, wait. When I pushed this back, it turned around, right? They lost their regulars when I managed to push them out. So you got to remember these details. Yeah? So that was a mistake. As soon as you manage to push them back when they're flipped over in the regulars, they lose the regulars, right? So they would have lost the regulars there, and then they managed to push back in. So I have 3 resource points. I'm going to try to take Lake Ontario. And that's a fail. So let's try it again. That's another fail. I'm going to bring the American regulars to Plattsburgh here. I just want to be able to re-roll the die if I need to. That was turn 9. Let's see what the British are going to do. Again, 5. It's an even turn. Attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. So that would be Lake Erie and Lake Champlain. Let's go with Lake Erie first. Ah, they succeeded. Let's go to Lake Champlain. And that's a 6. They succeeded. So turn 11. Let's see how many resource points. We get 1 resource point this time. Wow, man. Let me attack over here in the St. Lawrence front. It's with a minus. No, it's not with a -1. So this is we're even here. Let's see. Oh, a 2. We failed. Let's see what the British. We only had 1. Let's see what the British do. It's 2 on a odd turn. If the British control Lake Erie, retreat the American. The British do control, so we got to retreat the northwest front marker 1 town. So, guys, we've lost the game, right? So, I mean, the game ends immediately, it says here. I mean, this is crazy. Instant British victory. British front markers occupied 2 American starting towns simultaneously after turn 4. And they do, St. Lawrence and Detroit, right, in the northwest front. So they win because, I mean, I would have to, start then my turn 12. So it is after turn 4. We lost again. The Indians never came in, right? If the Indians come in, it's a cumulative -1 here in the northwest front. I say cumulative because if they're in a fortified area, it's -1, and if the Indians are at play, it's an additional -1, so it's -2 if they're in a fortified area. But the whole track is going to be -1 with the Indians here, and I would have to, excuse me, I would have to fight them here to be able to remove the Indians from play. But they never came in this game, and yeah. So this is my 3rd loss. It's a very very tough game. If you don't, just give you a look at the sequence of play here. But you've got an idea and what we can do. Right, this is our action chart here, and then you got the British actions, right? These are pretty cool. Let me show you something neat. Look at the art on that. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, I should play the game like that. It's inspiring. Look at this. How nice is that? Maybe that's how I should play the game. But then I have to look at the. Not that. I don't have to look at that. I have to look at the British actions, right? So maybe I can play with that one turned up and this one turned down like this, face down. I mean, how cool is that? It's just such a beautiful little board. But I like that idea of putting the. I did forget to do something. In this case here, when the knowing that I was going to lose the game, when the Northwest Front moved in here, I could have, and this is just lack of experience, right? Because I don't usually use the American regulars, but I could have used the American regulars to re-roll that British die roll. I could have re-rolled that, and I just didn't do it. Let's re-roll it. It doesn't matter because the attacker would have succeeded anyway, right? With a 6. Because that's what happens, right? If I have the regulars there, they attack me here, they win, and I remove the American regulars to re-roll that attack. In this case, they would have gotten it anyway. The regulars would have been removed, and we would have lost because the 2 starting towns have been taken over. So there you have it. It's my 3rd loss. I don't know if I'm going to keep trying on video anyway to beat this game. In case you don't know, you get victory points, right? You get victory points for certain things. Get a look at that. And then you get to look at that's if we make it to turn 20, right? And then you get to look at this, right? 10 or less is a British win. 11 to 16 is a draw. 17 or more is an American win. And there's an optional victory here. If the Americans occupy Montreal and York at the end of any game turn, they win an instant victory. Great little game, War of 1812. I really like it. Big fan of this very compact little war game. Go get one.